I used the Outdoor Research Helium 2 jacket on the PCT for 200 miles and got battered by the elements, but I got the Rohan Helix jacket just not too long ago, about 3 weeks ago. I've been using it. They're two waterproof breathable shells. One is definitely my clear favourite, so I'm going to show you exactly which one in this video. Let's go. Hello hiker and world traveller, Russ here, bringing you the best tips and inspiration for hiking around the world. If that's all sounding really cool to you, then do subscribe to this channel for more outdoorsy world travel content every week. Okay, so in my left hand I have the Outdoor Research Helium 2 jacket. It's a new design. I bought this in REI just before I started the Pacific Crest Trail for about £127, about 163 US dollars. It did me very well. I've got a review in the top left hand corner of this video just about this, which goes over all of the features and the specs, but for this video I'm just going to go over both of these jackets in terms of a comparison, and mainly about their quality, what you're getting for your money, and how I think they're both faring up in comparison to each other. In this hand I have the Rohan Helix jacket. It's incredibly waterproof, it's water repellent, very comfortable. It's not as light as the Outdoor Research Helium 2, but it just feels like a completely different jacket. As you can see, they're two very different sizes. One is bigger, one is smaller, one is heavier, one is lighter. I'll show you the weighing scales with the Helix jacket on, and here are the weighing scales with the Helium 2 on. This video isn't going to be so much about the specs and the features and the differences in those kind of areas. This is mainly going to be about the quality, the build, and how I think it's going to fare up in terms of through hiking. So the Outdoor Research Helium 2, after just 200 miles, it's already getting tape kind of coming off the seams. It's not as waterproof as it was. Water was seeping through on the contact points with your skin, especially around the cuffs, around the neck and around the hem, a little bit on the elbows and on the shoulders under your backpack shoulder straps. So everywhere that this was very loose fitting, it was still waterproof. The Rohan Helix jacket, on the other hand, I've only had this 3 weeks. I haven't put 200 miles on it, I know, but just looking at the quality of the stitching, of the seam sealing, they don't use a tape, they use like a completely different material, and then they've sewn that on top of all of the seams. The material is very comfortable. The Outdoor Research Helium 2 is very plasticky and bin baggy, and in a hot, dank day that I've on the PCT that I've hiked through, this was really sticky and uncomfortable, whereas the Helix jacket is definitely more breathable, it's more comfortable, it's softer on your skin, it doesn't stick to you like the Helium 2 does. The difference is the trade-offs with the weight. So obviously you're going to get a little bit more of weight on the Helix jacket as opposed to the Outdoor Research Helium 2. I think if you're an ultralight backpacker slash through hiker who's really looking to get the miles in and they want to literally cut as many grams as they can, the Outdoor Research Helium 2 is definitely the jacket for you, whereas the Helix jacket from Rohan, I think if you're through hiking but you're not ultralight and you're not a gram weenie and you're not really trying to cut those grams, this is a much better jacket. It's much higher quality, it's going to last you a lot longer. I'm really looking forward to getting this out on some serious miles, but you can just tell by like the look and the feel and by the quality of the stitching and the materials that this Helix jacket is going to last you a pretty long time. The price points do reflect in these jackets, and I know maybe it's not the fairest of comparisons, but because I own these jackets, I've got them in my hand, I've worn them both, they're both waterproof breathable shells. I think they make a really good comparison. Is it worth spending the extra cash on the Rohan Helix jacket? Yes, if you're definitely going to be using it as much as you possibly can. Is it worth spending 120 something quid on the Outdoor Research Helium 2? Yes, if you're an ultralight backpacker, you're looking to cram in as many miles and cut those grams, and if you're not worried about a little bit of degradation with the seam sealing and the seam taping and a little bit of the stitching and the waterproofing over just 200 miles, yes, it's worth spending that money. Got to look after this one, whereas this one I think is going to take a bit more of a beating. Campfire question: which waterproof breathable shell do you use and why? Let us know below in the comments section. We would really love to hear from you. Thanks for watching this video about both of these jackets. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it, and I'll see you in the next one.